morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm Rob Evans. Welcome to Daybreak Plus. We're breaking down all the news you may have missed overnight and digging deep into what matters to you. And today is going to be a busy day for airports across the country. It is the deadline, the real deadline this time for the Real ID. You know, the Real ID, that little gold star on your driver's license or your state-issued ID, whatever it is, and you need it to fly anywhere in or out of the U.S. People without a Real ID will still be able to make their flights, but leaders at Austin's airport say, hey, add a few more hours to your arrival time to make sure you can get through security. Congress passed this Real ID Act, by the way, back in 2005 in response to the September 11th terrorist attacks. It has taken 20 years to finally go into effect. Back in 2016, the Texas Department of Public Safety began issuing the Real ID cards with the Real ID requirements. You will know, again, it is a Real ID compliant if there is that gold star you see right there in the upper right corner of your driver's license. Texas DPS says as of May of this year, 98% of all Texas driver's licenses and IDs are Real compliant. That's great news. But if you still don't have the star, if you're one of the 2%, Austin airport leaders like Sam Haynes recommend, again, getting there 4 hours before your departure time.
What's going to happen is you'll still be able to get through security and board your flight, but our partners at TSA are going to have to spend additional time with you, screening you and verifying your identity. Okay, that's really good.
This week, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said that if you bring your passport, it'll be recognized without additional screening. If you don't have a Real ID yet, you can schedule an in-person appointment at your local Texas DPS office. Takes a while to get into that office, by the way. There is no extra fee, though, to get one of those Real ID compliant cards. You just need to bring extra documents to verify your identity and prepare to wait. I mean, you've had 20 years, though, so you're going to wait. And if you're taking that Real ID or the non-Real ID to New York's or New Jersey's Newark Liberty Airport, get ready to wait. Delays, cancellations for 10 days in a row now. The FAA is actually bringing in more air traffic controllers to help with the staffing shortages. ABC's Lionel Moise has the details.
This morning, new insight into the safety concerns at busy Newark Airport as flight delays and cancellations drag on for a 10th day. We are now hearing pilots as they tried to reach air traffic controllers during a system outage last week, which left controllers unable to see, hear, or speak with planes in the air for more than 1 minute.
Approach you there.
When communications came back up, controllers could not see the planes on radar.
We don't have a radar, so I don't know where you are.
Senator Chuck Schumer claims the outage may have been caused by a burnt copper wire, pointing to the system's antiquated equipment, but the FAA not confirming that. One former air traffic controller who worked in the region claims most controllers have, quote, no faith in their equipment.
Not being able to track the position of an aircraft that is moving in excess of 200 miles an hour across the skies is very difficult.
Another factor behind the communication issues, a decision to move operations for Newark's airspace from New York to Philadelphia. Radar and communication failures at the airport were reported multiple times last year as well. The FAA now bringing in supervisors from other areas, but that's not an easy fix. They'll need training for this extra complicated airspace.
I think they've bungled the rollout of Real ID. They could have done it better.
Another issue today that could delay travelers nationwide, a new requirement to have a Real ID license or identification to fly.
People have had plenty of time to get prepared for it, so I don't object to it.
For those who haven't switched yet, you can still use your old ID to fly, but you'll be diverted to a different line to face extra security. That requirement takes effect today, 20 years after Congress passed the Real ID Act to streamline state-issued IDs. Passports, though, are an acceptable alternative. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
Well, today, Governor Greg Abbott will be hosting a roundtable meeting on one of his top legislative priorities, bail reform. This afternoon at the Texas Public Policy Foundation in Austin, the governor will meet with both bail reform advocates and family members of crime victims who were killed by defendants out on bond. Now, bail reform bills have died in the House every session for the past 6 years. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has said if the same thing happens this year, he's prepared to call or ask the governor to call a special session. Governor Abbott held a similar roundtable on the same topic in Houston last week. And a bill that lawmakers say will boost early childhood education and literacy is one step closer to becoming law. Texas House Representatives gave initial approval to House Bill 123 yesterday. If it's passed, the bill would require schools to regularly conduct assessments in both math and reading. If a child fails 2 straight assessments, schools will need to either make a small group intervention or have a state-funded tutor. HB 123 also increases state funding for school districts with high percentages of at-risk students. Several state lawmakers, like State Rep Harold Dutton, expressed concerns about giving more testing to young students, but proponents say it's not a test at all.
It's not a test they're going to take, it's a screening. And these screenings are about 15, not more than 20 minutes, because we need to do something like to triage these students to find out what it is that's causing them not to be able to read.
The lower chamber will have to take one more vote on HB 123 before it goes to the Senate for consideration. 7:07 right now. Let's get a look at weather and traffic. Casey and Hannah, starting with the KC. What a difference 24 hours
Oh,
make.
man, I know it. I mean, yesterday, that bright sunshine coming out, we had the strong storms in the morning, and then we had blue sky by the afternoon. That's what we're going to stick with for the most part today. Our sunrise is at 6:42. Look at that sun coming up over the horizon. We'll be looking at a much drier day today, and really for the remainder of the work week, we are done with the bulk of the rain and the thunderstorms that we've had for the week. 63 degrees right now, both at the airport and for Camp Mabry. Those winds currently light out of the north. Satellite and radar, we've seen just the occasional shower pass through Fayette County so far this morning, and it's Fayette County that'll have the higher chance of seeing some showers and storms today. Most of us, no rain. We're tracking a little disturbance that's skirting its way up the Texas coast, bringing rain, thunderstorms to that part of Texas, and that's where we'll have the better chance of activity today and for those areas closest to that. We do have a severe weather threat for the coast of Texas. This does happen to extend up through the Austin area, level 1 out of 5 risk for an isolated strong severe storm. I will say, though, our computer forecast models really not excited and much moisture coming our way at all throughout the day. I think the good majority of us, no rain at all. Storm Protection Center has put this in place, so just in case we do have an isolated shower storm develop across the area, it will have the ingredients to work with to maybe become strong to severe. That level 2 risk just clipping southern parts of Fayette County, and again, it's Fayette County that'll have the highest chance of showers and storms today. After that, moisture generally remaining south as we head into Thursday, Friday, and certainly the weekend. This drier weather pattern making a nice comeback, of course, and the weekend going to be busy too, with it being Mother's Day on Sunday. As for the rest of today, you can see with our future tracker, again, not expecting much in terms of shower activity. I wouldn't quite rule out a few more of those out towards Fayette County, but winds generally out of the north will continue to bring some drier air back into our area. Partly cloudy skies we take you through about 2-3 o'clock. Pickup line for kids really shouldn't have too many issues. We'll continue with that partly sunny sky until the sun sets, and then the drier conditions persist as we head into tonight. So that isolated storm chance mainly for southeastern zones today. Most of us stay dry with the high of 87 degrees. Heading into tonight, partly cloudy. Could see some patchy areas of fog as we kick off the day for tomorrow morning, as those winds lighten up a little bit more out of the north with a low near 65 degrees. Allergy count today, maple is low, willow and ash also low. Grass still looking at medium counts, and mold still remaining medium, with alternaria present just thanks to some of that moisture that we have seen over the past couple days. Needed moisture, of course. We certainly do like to see the rain across the area, and we need it. 7-day forecast, not much rain though after what we just had Monday and Tuesday. Those rain chances again remaining very minimal. Thursday, maybe just a stray shower overnight. Friday, we're looking dry. High temperatures heading into the weekend are going to be running at and slightly below average. We'll actually see some nights back in the 50s. Waking up Sunday morning for mom, it's going to be a little bit cool in spots. If you're heading out to brunch with mom, some of us maybe even the light sweater, we warm up quickly to 84 degrees, and then we are all about the heat. Are you ready for the 90s to make a comeback? That'll be for early next week.
Ooh, it's going to be nice out there for the mamas this weekend after what's been kind of a hectic couple of days. Goodness gracious. Y'all doing okay? Maybe a little bit wet out there after all the rounds of rain yesterday, and I know it gave us just a heck of a time yesterday afternoon. Things have luckily quieted down quite a bit on my end. Mopac, we had a serious crash much earlier right here at 35th Street. You can see that it's no longer an active situation, and looking pretty good on I-35 as well. We had that police investigation that's still going on off of Breaker that is not impacting travel on I-35 at this time. It looks like we do have a new crash, though, that just popped up in Georgetown. So right now we do have a crash on 290 for my Mainer friends that are coming in westbound on 290. And I'm going to get that popped up over here. And then on top of that, we've got a little bit of car trouble here. So we had a stalled vehicle that's cleared up over at 71. So that's looking much better. But we do still have some stop and go in the northbound lanes. Good morning, Lakeway. We've got a crash with y'all right now, and that is off of Trophy Drive at the Hills Drive, just south of the water there. And then let's go ahead and see what's cooking up here in Georgetown. Oh boy, here we go. We got a doozy, actually not too far from where that incident was, just a couple weeks ago. The good news is it looks like it's just one lane blocked right now, and that is southbound right there at 29, which has been kind of a trouble spot recently. Taking a look at our drive times, though, we are at 40 minutes right now if you are coming in from the Buda area. So just your typical stop and go. No active crashes there. Looking good as long as we can get you in from Round Rock today. And Mopac, I mean, what a stark difference from much earlier in the morning involving that crash with a motorcyclist who I'm told is recovering at the hospital. And taking a look under 10 minutes on 183 right now as you are heading out the door, Rob.
And thank you very much. The conclave is set to select a new pope starting today. They have a record number of cardinals taking part. ABC's Ines de la Cutara is there.
This morning, the cardinals responsible for selecting the next pope taking part in a mass at St. Peter's Basilica. From there, the 133 cardinals head to the Sistine Chapel to begin the conclave.
Seems the responsibility for the conclave falls upon you.
Some of the cardinals have reportedly watched the Hollywood movie Conclave ahead of today's proceedings. Most expect to choose a pope within 2 days.
If on Friday night the pope is not elected, it could be that something unexpected has happened.
Inside the Sistine Chapel, tables are set with place cards for each cardinal and ballots at each seat. The cardinals will be cut off from the world, voting up to 4 times per day, twice in the morning, twice in the evening. The conclave is highly secretive, but we do know the cardinals walk down the center aisle to the chapel altar, where they cast their ballots in front of Michelangelo's Last Judgment.
Now, I have to tell you, that first ballot is so significant, because then you see who are the leaders.
Italy is the most represented country at the conclave, with 17 eligible cardinals voting, followed by the U.S. with 10. The debate among them: elect a pope with a progressive approach, similar to Francis, who lived a life of simplicity while casting no judgment towards the LGBTQ community, or choose a conservative leader more focused on traditional values. Experts say it may be hard for the cardinals to ignore the popularity of Pope Francis.
You saw the hundreds of thousands of people out here, millions of people, such an outpouring, and that has continued. The cardinals take note of that. That's the people's vote.
The cardinals vote once later today, then up to 4 times a day until we see that white smoke coming from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, indicating they have chosen a new leader of the Catholic Church. Ines de la Cutara, ABC News, Rome.
Well, back here in Central Texas, we got 2 days of rain, but it is still not enough. Central Texas lake levels are struggling to fill up. The Lower Colorado River Authority gauges show that levels of Lake Travis and Buchanan are up to only about an inch or so. That's it. John Huffman with the LCRA told KVUE it's a good thing it's going up at least. He said usually the levels are actually dropping this time of the year. However, because the ground is so dry, most of the recent rain is just saturating the soil.
The drought's not over. It's a significant drought. Conservation is going to continue to need to be a really important part of what we do in Central Texas, looking towards our hot, dry Central Texas summer. So this rain is great. It waters our yards and our landscapes for us, but we really need to be mindful of the need for conservation going into the summer.
Now, Hoffman says longer, gradual rainfall or a tropical event could create the runoff needed to significantly raise lake levels. Today, Adobe Middle School students at Austin ISD are planning to stage a walkout. There are a lot of conversations about the future of the Northeast Austin school. It may be forced to close because of repeated F accountability ratings from the Texas Education Agency over the past few years. Now, ratings are partially based on a school's STAR test results. If a student has 5 years, if a school rather, has 5 years of failing ratings, the TEA can take over. KVUE spoke to one parent, Jessica Velasquez, who said she doesn't want the district or the TEA to decide the future of the school. Take a listen.
But to listen to all of us as a community, the parents, the students, the staff, here in this neighborhood, not elsewhere, to listen to us, for our voices to be heard, and for him to keep and allow all the principals from the 3 schools stay and have them choose the teachers and the staff, not the district decide.
Myself and the board. There are a few options on the table. The school can close permanently, relocate students to other schools, or close temporarily and open a reimagined version of the school. Austin ISD leaders have until June 30th to submit a plan to the TEA on how they plan to turn things around. We, of course, will keep you updated on that situation there at that school. Let's talk about now, if you will, the Austin City Limits, ACL, general admission, and general admission plus tickets for ACL Weekend 1 are already sold out. Yeah, less than 24 hours after the lineup was announced, headliners including Sabrina Carpenter, Hozier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, all these people brought in the fans, right? T-Pain's going to be there as well, along with some returning artists like Cage the Elephant, Japanese Breakfast, and the Strokes. The 2-weekend event runs October 3rd, and then again the 10th through the 12th. Now, 3-day tickets for weekend 2 are still available, but you better get them quick because they're going to sell out too. And we are celebrating one of the last surviving veterans from the Battle of Iwo Jima, one of the defining moments of World War II. U.S. Marine Don Graves recently turned 100 years old, and he's reminding everybody what it means to live life with purpose. Kevin Reese from our sister station in Dallas introduces us.
All the time. I can't get away without singing.
It doesn't take long in a conversation with Don Graves.
You want to hear God Bless America?
For an old Marine to break into song.
Through the night with a light from above.
He enlisted at 17, manned a flamethrower at the base of Mount Suribachi, is one of just 3 Iwo Jima veterans still alive.
I don't think I'm a hero. I think there's 7,000 of my buddies on Iwo Jima that are heroes. But they sacrificed.
We met at his memorabilia-filled home in Keller just a few days before his 100th birthday.
I don't feel old. I don't feel older than 50. I don't. I love life. I love people. I love to be with people. I love to entertain.
And if you love to entertain and you're almost 100,
well, you're welcome to come to the party.
It is one very memorable party.
Happy birthday.
With a cake fit for an Iwo Jima hero. And with kiss after kiss from an adoring crowd.
You can take a half dozen if you want.
He was gifted his own blend of Black Rifle coffee and his own Texas Rangers jersey.
100?
Whether he considers himself a hero or not, friends wanted to reassure him he is.
Hey, can I get paid for this?
It's really pretty cool. He's like a rock star. So if you can imagine going out and hanging out with rock stars all day long.
Oh, and if there is an audience and a microphone, yes, Don will start singing.
Through the night with the light from above.
People just love him and they want to get to spend some time with him.
Because this old Marine is thankful for the gift of time and the chance to honor his heroes again.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, honey.
In Arlington, I'm Kevin Reese.
Well, it's a Marine, always a Marine, right? All right, we leave you this morning with something to talk about. A minor league game in Missouri delayed for an unusual reason. How about this?
One of them's approached the entrance to the dugout. I don't know what he's going to do in there.
A pair of ducks decided to land on the field and go for a walk during the bottom of the fourth inning of a game Saturday between the Springfield Cardinals and Northwest Arkansas. I spent 10 years covering these Springfield Cardinals. Love that area. The Ducks wandering casually around the field. One of the Ducks flew away on its own, but the other insisted on remaining on the field despite efforts by Cruz to shoot away. The Duck eventually waddled off the field when Cruz opened a gate in the outfield, eliciting crowds to cheer, and the Ducks are okay. No word on the final score there, but gotta love AA baseball. Texas League at its best right there. Well, that is it for Daybreak Plus. Let us know what you would like to talk about. Message us at 512-459-9442. You can also message me on socials at Rob Evans TV on Instagram, on Facebook, or on X. And stick around because Daybreak continues right here on KVUE Plus. Goodbye, everybody.